Good morning children. How are you all? Hope you all are doing good. So children, in the last class we have started the explanation of the lesson the southern plateaus. Is not? So we have learned about the plateaus. So what are plateaus? The raised lands, okay, which is flat at the top. So these plateaus are also called as tablelands, is it? Because it resembles the tabletop. So these plateaus are also called as tableland. And we learned about the two parts of the river Narmada divides the southern plateau into two parts. So one is the Central Highlands, the other is the Deccan Plateau. These Central Highlands is further subdivided into two parts as the Malwa Plateau and the Chota Nagpur Plateau. So now we move on to the Deccan Plateau. Okay, so the other part of the southern plateau is the Deccan Plateau. So this Deccan Plateau is also called as Great Peninsular Plateau. Okay, Deccan Plateau is also called as Great Peninsular Plateau, and it covers the large part of the southern plateau. So you can see the picture here. So this Deccan Plateau from here, okay, so this covers the large part of the southern plateau. Okay, this Deccan Plateau covers the large part of the southern plateau, and the height of this plateau is 100 meters to the north and to south. Okay, it stretches to south 1000 meters to the south. Okay, 100 meters towards north and 2000 meters towards the south. So this is the height of the Deccan Plateau, and this Deccan Plateau stretches from the Satpura range in the north to the southern tip of India. Okay, from the Satpura range to the north to the southern tip of India. So it is the largest plateau of India. So this Deccan Plateau, it is the largest plateau of India, and this Deccan Plateau, it is bounded by the Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats. Towards the east we have Eastern Ghats and towards the west we have Western Ghats. So this Deccan Plateau, it is bounded by the Eastern Ghats and Western Ghats. Okay, so in this Western Ghats are a long range of hills. So the Western Ghats, can you find here? So this Western Ghats have a long range of hills. Okay, and some of the hills are, they include Nilgiris, Annamalai, Cardamom hills. Okay, so these Western Ghats have a long range of hills. They include Nilgiris, Annamalai and Cardamom hills. Okay, so this Nilgiri hills is in Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. Okay, Nilgiri hills is in Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. Ooty is the hill station in the Nilgiri hills. Okay, so this Western Ghats have a long range of hills. Okay, the Western Ghats have a long range of hills, and they include Nilgiris, Annamalai, Cardamom hills. Okay, so the Nilgiris is in Tamil Nadu. Nilgiris lies in Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. Ooty is the hill station in the Nilgiri hills. Okay, so next the Eastern Ghats. So this was about the Western Ghats. Next it is Eastern Ghats. Eastern Ghats are divided into small hill ranges by the rivers coming from the Western Ghats. Okay, so this Eastern Ghats is divided into small hill ranges by the rivers which is coming from the Western Ghats. And most of the rivers fall into Bay of Bengal. So we have Bay of Bengal towards the east, is it? So most of the rivers from the Eastern Ghats, they fall into Bay of Bengal. The Godavari is the longest river. Okay, so the Godavari is the longest river in Deccan Plateau. So most of the rivers in the Eastern Ghats fall into the Bay of Bengal, and Godavari is the longest river in the Deccan Plateau. Okay, then most of the rivers fall into Bay of Bengal. Narmada and Tapi flows westwards and fall into Arabian Sea. Okay, so Narmada and Arabian Sea. Okay, so the Godavari is the longest river in the Deccan Plateau. Most of the rivers in the Eastern Ghats, they fall into the Bay of Bengal. Narmada and Tapi flows towards the westwards and they fall into Arabian Sea. Okay children, so this was about the Deccan Plateau. I repeat once again, Deccan Plateau is also called as Great Peninsular Plateau, and this Deccan Plateau covers the larger part of Southern Plateau. Okay, the Deccan Plateau covers the largest part of Southern Plateau. You can see from here to here we have the Deccan Plateau. So this Deccan Plateau covers the largest part of Southern Plateau. The height of this plateau ranges from 100 meters in the north to 1000 meters in the south. Okay, and this Deccan Plateau is bounded by Eastern Ghats and Western Ghats. So this Western Ghats is a long row of hills. The Western Ghats has a long range of hills. So this Western Ghats has a long range of hills, and they include Nilgiris, Annamalai, Cardamom hills. Okay, so the Nilgiris lies in Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, and Ooty is the hill station in Nilgiris. Okay, next the Eastern Ghats. So the Eastern Ghats are divided into small hill ranges by the rivers coming from the Western Ghats. So most of the rivers fall into Bay of Bengal and Narmada and Tapi. So these rivers flow towards the westwards and they fall into Arabian Sea. Godavari is the longest river in Deccan Plateau. Okay, so Godavari is the longest river in Deccan Plateau. So this was about the Deccan Plateau. Now we will see the people of the Plateau region. So the people, how they lived in this region. The climate in the Plateau region varies from one place to another. So the climate of this region, it varies from one place to another. The main occupation of the people is agriculture. Okay, the main occupation of the people is agriculture, and these southern plateaus are rich in minerals, is it? Minerals and coal, is it? So we have also mining, as the Plateau region is rich in minerals. So people were employed in mineral-based industries. Okay, people were employed in these mineral-based industries. As I told you before that the Chota Nagpur Plateau is rich in minerals. So the people were engaged, the people were employed in mineral-based industries, and the agriculture was the main occupation of the people. And we have mineral-based mining. So the people were employed in the mineral-based industries. The Plateau region is thinly populated. The Malwa and the Chota Nagpur plateaus are covered by deciduous forests. Okay, the Malwa and the Chota Nagpur plateau is covered by thick deciduous forest on a large scale. So tribal people lived there. Okay, as we have thick deciduous forest in the Malwa and Chota Nagpur plateau, the tribal people lived there. So they were Bills, Gauls, Warlis and Bastar dwell. Okay, so they were leading a simple life in harmony. So these were the tribals who lived in these plateaus of Malwa plateau and Chota Nagpur plateau, as we have thick deciduous forests there. So the tribal people were living there. Okay, like the Bills, Gauls, Warlis and the Bastar dwells were the tribal people who were leading a small, very simple life in harmony. The men wear, the dress code of the men wear dhoti, achkan and turban, and the women wear sari and blouses or gagras and cholis in their own style. Okay, so the men wear dhoti, achkan and turban, and the women wear saris and blouses or gagra and choli. So these were the lifestyle of the people living in these plateaus. Okay, so now we'll move to the importance of the plateau region. So what are the importance of the plateau regions? The forests of the plateau region provide timber. As I told you before, the Malwa plateau and the Chota Nagpur plateau is covered by the thick deciduous forest. So these region provide timber. Okay. The black soil formed by the lava emitted by the volcanoes is very fertile. As the Malwa plateau, we have black soil there, is it? So this black soil is emitted by the lava, okay, emitted by the volcanoes in very fertile. So this black soil is very fertile and it is good for cultivation of crops like cotton, sugarcane, rice, millets and oilseeds. Okay, so this black soil is very good for the cultivation of crops like cotton, sugarcane, oilseeds, millets, etc. And also the southern plateau is a storehouse of minerals. Is it? So in the Chota Nagpur plateau is very rich in minerals. So it is called as the storehouse of minerals. We can find the minerals like iron, coal, manganese, bauxite, aluminium, copper and limestone. So these are the minerals which are found in the southern plateau. And also multi-purpose dams across the large fast-flowing rivers of this region are used for generating hydroelectricity. Okay, so the multi-purpose dams which are built across the fast-flowing rivers, so they are also used for generating hydroelectricity. And the hill station, wildlife sanctuaries and places of pilgrimage of this region attract tourists. Okay, so we have in these plateaus we have a large number of wild sanctuaries, hill stations, pilgrimage. So these places attract the tourists. And the plateau region enriched with the valuable natural resources. As this plateaus, okay, the southern plateaus are enriched. These plateaus are rich in good minerals, okay, minerals and coal deposits. So as they contribute the economic growth of our nation. Okay, so these natural resources of the southern plateaus contribute the economic growth of the nation. Okay, children. So this is the importance of the southern plateaus. So here I have completed the explanation of the southern plateaus. Okay, children. So now we will complete the exercise part of this lesson. Okay, now everyone open your textbook. Open your textbook, page number 215. Now we are going to complete the exercise part of this lesson. Okay, children. Be ready with your pencil. Open your textbook. We are going to complete the exercise part of this lesson. Okay, open your textbook. So children, everyone open your Sparrow Sem1 textbook, page number 215. Okay, page number 215. So first main, tick the correct answer. First question, the southern plateaus stretch for about dash kilometers from the north to south. So it is 1600 kilometers. So the A mean first answer. Okay, first answer is option A. Tick option A. Okay, option A. It is 1600 kilometers. So the southern plateaus stretch for about 1600 kilometers from the north to south. The second question, cotton grows well in black soil, red soil, alluvial soil. So cotton grows well in black soil. So the second one is option A. Tick option A. Okay, so black soil. Cotton grows well in black soil. The third one, the longest river in the Deccan Plateau is Godavari, Ganga, Yamuna. So which is the river, the longest river in the Deccan Plateau? Godavari. The third answer is option A. Godavari. Okay. Deccan Plateau is also called the Tibetan Plateau, Great Peninsular Plateau, Chota Nagpur Plateau. The Deccan Plateau is also called as Great Peninsular Plateau. So the fourth answer is option B. Okay. So I'll repeat. The first one is the southern plateaus stretch for about 1600 kilometers from north to south. So it is in option A. Tick option A. The second one, cotton grows well in black soil. Option A. The third one, the longest river in the Deccan Plateau is Godavari. Option A. Fourth one, Deccan Plateau is also called the Great Peninsular Plateau. It is in option B. Okay. So now we'll go on to the B main fill in the blanks. Okay, B main fill in the blanks. So the first question, a dash is an area of flat land that is higher than the land around it. So what is this? Plateau. So first answer is plateau. Write small p. P L A T E A U. Plateau. Okay. P L A T E A U. So plateau is an area of flat land that is higher than the land around it. So we call it as plateau. P L A T E A U. Plateau. The second one, the Narmada River flows between the dash and dash mountain ranges. So the Narmada River flows between Vindhyachal and Satpur. Vindhyachal. Vindhyachal. Vindhyachal and Satpura. S-A-T-P-U-R-A. Satpura. Okay. So the Narmada River flows between the Vindhyachal and Satpura mountain ranges. The third one, Deccan Plateau, is also called the Great Dash Plateau. So Deccan Plateau is also called the Great Peninsular Plateau. The third answer is Peninsular. P-E-N-I-N-S-U-L-A-R. Peninsular. Okay, so the Deccan Plateau is also called the Great Peninsular Plateau. P-E-N-I-N-S-U-L-A-R. Peninsular. The fourth one, the height of Deccan Plateau ranges from dash meters in the north to dash meters in the south. So the height of the Deccan Plateau ranges from 100 meters in the north. Okay, 100 meters in the north to 1000 meters. Okay, one is 100 meters and the other is 1000 meters. Okay, 100 meters in the north to 1000 meters. 1000 meters in the south. The height of the Deccan Plateau ranges from 100 meters in the north and 1000 meters to the south. The fifth one, the Narmada and the Tapi flow westwards and fall into the dash sea. So the Narmada and the Tapi, they flow. These rivers flow towards the westwards and falls into Arabian Sea. The fifth is Arabian Sea. A-R-A-B-I-A-N. Arabian Sea. Okay. The Narmada and the Tapi flows westwards and fall The third one is Deccan Plateau is also called the Great Dash Plateau Peninsula. 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 Fourth one, the height of Deccan Plateau ranges from dash, okay, 100 meters in the north to 1000 meters, okay, 100 meters in the north to 1000 meters in the south. The Narmada and the Tapi flows westwards and fall into the Arabian Sea. Arabian, Arabian Sea. So next is sea mean. I am going to write here, okay children? It is sea mean. Write T for T and F for false. Okay, write true or false against the statement. The first question, the red soil is very fertile and is suitable for growing cotton. Whether the statement is true? No, it is false. So first one is false. That which soil is suitable for growing cotton? It is black soil, is it? So the first statement is false. Second one, Ooty is a hill station in the Nilgiri Hills in the Deccan Plateau region. Yes, it is true. So Ooty is a hill station in the Nilgiri Hills. The third one, the Jog Falls formed by the Sharavati river in Karnataka is the highest waterfall in India. Yes, it is true. The third answer is true. So the Jog Fall is the highest waterfall in India. It is formed by the river Sharavati river in Karnataka. The fourth one, the Narmada and Tapi flow westwards and fall into the Mediterranean Sea. No, it is false. Then to which sea it will fall? Arabian Sea. So the Narmada and Tapi flows towards westwards and they fall into Arabian Sea. Is it? The last one, fifth one. The Godavari is the longest river in Deccan Plateau. Yes, it is true. The fifth answer. True. Okay, so the Godavari is the longest river in Deccan Plateau. So like this you have to fill the textbook exercise. All the three means. First mean it is take the correct answer and B mean fill in the blanks and here you have C mean true or false. Okay, so you have here C mean true or false. So all the three means. A mean B. Okay, we have A mean take the correct answer and B mean fill in the blanks and C true or false. Okay children, so all the three means complete in your textbook without making any mistake. Okay children, so here I am going to end the session now. Okay.